Moving forward, we are privileged to have with us our chief guest, Professor H.S.P. Rao, Director and Scientific Advisor of Teadus Pharma, Hyderabad, and former Professor, Department of Chemistry, Pondicherry University. His esteemed presence adds a layer of significance to this gathering. We eagerly look forward to the knowledge you will undoubtedly share with us. I now invite Professor H.S.P. Rao for the inaugural address.
Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Good morning. Yeah. Professor Katie, the Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, Professor K.A., the Dean, School of Physical, Chemical and Applied Sciences, Professor B.M., the HOD, Head of the Department, current HOD of the Department of Chemistry, Professor C.R.R., my good friend, and Professor J.K., Professor yes, Professor R.V., India, Ramana, RP, Toka, BKS, I don't know, Bhakta, CS, and others, and my good friends from, Madam Victoria, she's here, and my good friends from Vietnam and Thailand. Interestingly, I just noticed that the friend from Vietnam is called Thai, so it looks like, so whatever it may be. My dear friends, students, research scholars, and other colleagues. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous here because this is my first homecoming after 2018, July 30th, in many respects. So I thank you for giving me this opportunity. So I'll reserve the chemistry talk for the evening, the early evening. And right now I'll spend my 9 minutes, 1 minute I took already, to tell you about the importance of organic chemistry and medicinal chemistry. Friends, I have given several talks, maybe running to hundreds. Every time I talk in the field of organic chemistry, I feel emotional and jittery in many respects. Because I recollect a story which was published in Journal of Chemical Education. I don't know how many of you read. I read that article in 1993 by Professor Charles Atwood. Read it if you want. It comes out for free. In this professor, who is a professor of chemistry in University of Georgia in the United States, he's a physical chemist, not an organic chemist. But he writes about his son, who was very young, going to school, and one day, while playing, this young boy of 5th standard fell ill. And he was immediately rushed to the hospital. That's where the chemistry starts. That's where the medicinal chemistry starts and the chemistry starts. Because the doctors would put him immediately into MRI, which we all know is a metamorphosis of NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance. Medical doctors wanted to call it MRI because patients would not get into that magnetic field, because nuclear is a word which is not so good for the people. Therefore, they dropped nuclear and MRI, medical magnetic resonance imaging. So MRI would not have come into picture unless so much of development took place from 40s to 50s to 60s, or even 1700 Fourier. Fourier transformation that we know today would not be there unless scientists worked on it and discovered things. Then came the medicine. The medicines would not be there unless hundreds of organic chemists made the medicines in the first place, synthesized them. Starting from the ancient rishis from India, or the Chinese medical practitioner from time immemorial who observed and wrote. In fact, Dean touched upon this observation and noting down and transferring the knowledge to generations. The name organic chemistry did not even exist, but everybody knew about organic matter, that's the matter which is in the form of life. If I ask you, to youngsters who are out there, what was the life expectancy during 17th century and what is life expectancy today? We always used to say they had wonderful water, wonderful air, natural resources, good food, non-contaminated, and no pesticides. And what was the life expectancy? Believe it or not, it was only 27 years. And today, with all the problems we have, in terms of pollution, in terms of water getting contaminated, in terms of modern lifestyles, eating junk food and junk food and junk food only, still the life expectancy in India at least is around 70. In the world, at least in the advanced countries, is around 80s. Why? What makes this life expectancy go up? Well, one simple answer: medicines. And medicines did not come into picture just like that. I recollect the name of Professor Berger. I don't know how many of you know this name, Berger's Medicinal Chemistry. 7 volumes, each running to 2,000 pages. One single man came out with Berger's. It's even now continuing. The editions are continuing, although he was not there. 97 years Berger lived, and then wrote this voluminous book of medicinal chemistry, Berger's Medicinal. It's called Berger's Medicinal Chemistry. He writes that the medicinal chemist is a gambler, because every molecule that he makes next time is going to be a winner, he thinks, and makes another molecule. It fails. Thousands and thousands and thousands of molecules are made, and they fail, one of them come up. And that is the one which saves hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. While it makes money for the companies which discovered them, but they are necessary for the human beings to survive. So I would say that medicinal chemistry has brought into the core science a metamorphosis of organic chemistry. Well, organic chemistry would not have been there but for the beginning that was made during 18th century by Wohler. Synthesis. Unless we synthesize them, how will the medicines come into picture? Natural products were there's no doubt about it. But getting natural product into the pure form in a ton quantities to treat all over the world is next to zero. So we'll have to make them in the laboratory, either using biocatalysis or by really chemical synthesis. We have to make them, and making them is becoming increasingly difficult nowadays. New ones, because something called FDA, Food and Drug Administration, or the administrators put so much of hurdles before a pill is taken into the mouth. Therefore, I would say that organic chemistry is a central science. Those of us who practice organic chemistry will always want to say this: chemistry being central science, organic chemistry is the core of it. Well, transport yourself during 1940s, then you will realize that there was one man called R.B. Woodward who actually made organic chemistry before Woodward and after Woodward. Well, that took place because organic chemists, generally speaking, because I am very much biased to organic chemistry because I practice that, they're extraordinarily passionate. I recollect R. Sangaya, who was my batchmate at IISc Bangalore. He is no more, 1 year junior. he was working with a colleague of mine called G.S. Krishna Rao. Well, I want to tell about, I want to picturize certain passionate attitude by recollecting our Sangaya, because at 12 o'clock in the night, he would sing loudly a Hindi song. Our Sangaya comes from Madurai. Without ever knowing meaning of it, singing the song, not to sing the song, but just happy that he is working. Doing extraction, doing column, doing purification, looking at beautiful crystals. That's what moves organic chemists. No better side than as an NMR, I say. You get a good NMR, your boss is happy, you're happy. You get a bad NMR, you're depressed, everybody is unhappy. So get up again and make a more pure compound to get up. So I just want to picturize during this 9 minutes I spent that beautiful world of making molecules, bringing them to the fore, making them useful so that humanity gets benefited. I must also tell you that there is a paradigm shift that is taking place in making medicinal chemistry, because mostly during the past century we have been concentrating on medicines for human beings. But there's out there requirement of medicines for animals. It is slightly different for each animal. Human being is one animal. So veterinary medicine and agricultural chemicals are also equally important. And I think there's a paradigm shift that is taking place in medicinal chemistry of late. Apart from Professor Katie has told very beautifully the importance of AI, but nothing can replace actual making of the molecule in the laboratory. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'll meet you again. Thank you.